Previously, I had only dated men, and I actually got out of a 6-year relationship with a man, and I decided that I had a feeling that I liked women, so I decided to explore that. And so I downloaded a couple apps, one of which was Bumble, and that's how I met Kelly. But she lived like 8 hours away from me. And so we were at a couple stores, and the checkout people were like, "Oh, is this your daughter?" I don't know. My relationship with him, it ended just like not because of that. I started thinking I didn't want to go the rest of my life without knowing if I felt that way. And then we just happened to break up. So that wasn't the impetus, but it just happened that way. And so because he and I had ended our relationship, I was like, oh, now's the time. But yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, I just downloaded Bumble, and I was the first person that she met
I had just downloaded Bumble. I had been on some other dating sites with no success at all. And yeah, that day I downloaded Bumble, and she was literally the first person I came across. So we talked, we exchanged numbers like the first day, and we got off of Bumble. Yeah. We were just texting back and forth. We texted for like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Finally was able to get her on the phone because she's not a phone person. And so drove down, and we basically had a 3-day date. She was in a play at the time. So she, we met on Friday, and she had rehearsal. And then she came back, and, we just talked all night.
Hung out, yeah.
She had again a rehearsal on Saturday, and then we ended up going out to we went downtown in the town that we live in, which was it's so quaint and so cute, and I just fell in love with the town. And then Sunday we went to brunch. We met a friend of hers that she was in the play with, and actually who ended up marrying us because she's ordained. Yeah. And literally by Sunday, when I said to her friend, I said, I'm going to marry this woman.
We met in person in March of 2023, and we got married in June of 2023. Very. And that's not typical of us. We're not risk takers.
This was so out of my
people element. Who were going to jump into anything. So, and especially her, she had never taken a risk like this before.
Never.
So it really was
definitely
honestly
love at first sight, honestly. But we just clicked. We just enjoy doing everything together.
The only negative comments we've ever gotten are people on TikTok who have nothing else to do. Do you know what I mean? We don't really get much of a reaction. Or maybe we'll be at a restaurant or something, and people will kind of look at us sometimes. But
for the most part,
it's just not.
No.
And we're lucky. We're very lucky that that's the case, right? I'm about to be 35, and she just turned 54. So we have differences in how we've grown up and technology. I don't know, technology use, or sometimes she'll say something that I don't know what she's talking about, but it's not like it's a
hindrance or anything.
Yeah, no. Because we're very similar in what we like to do, and we have very similar personality anyway. So the age thing, it doesn't really occur to me most of the time.
We love our apartment. Our complex is amazing. We have a gym, we have a pool. I'm happy to stay here, but down the road, we would like to get a house. Just the prices are just ridiculous right now.
Yeah.
But we're not
we've never wanted kids. No kids.
We don't want kids.
I would like to travel, but we just I think our main thing would be we would want to buy a house. So I spent a lot of time thinking about how interesting it is to be a later in life lesbian. And as you can see, it's still I pause before I say that. I don't know. I'm just still getting used to it. And I don't know about others, but I think about oh, what was I thinking at this point in my life? Oh, was that a sign that I was? Was that a sign that I was? And I only ever had relationships with men. And I don't mean to negate that. I don't want it to be oh, those relationships didn't matter. But it occurred to me the other night. I was like, the feeling that I have now that I am with my wife is this. It's your whole life you're breathing. You're fine. You're able to breathe. You're not choking, anything like that. But then it was when I met her, it was the first time I took a really full, deep breath. sounds kind of cheesy, and when I thought of it, I was like, ooh, because I'm normally not a very mushy person until now, but I was like, that's a really good way to describe it. Is like I was breathing, but then I met her, and then I'm with her now, and everything makes so much sense. It's like I finally was able to take a full deep breath. And again, that's not to say anything negative about my other relationships, but that's just how it feels now. Perfect.
This couple looks lovely. I mean, they just look perfect for each other. I kind of can see a balance between the two. So very excited, and another one a little bit more calmer. I don't know if that's a good thing. Maybe opposite attracts. We never know. They clearly seem happy, and I am so glad they found someone they can love forever. I mean, they married after 3 months. 3 months, some people might not think that's a lot, but if you know the right person, I mean, if you know that's the right thing to do, that's the right thing to do. You just know it, you just feel it. She also said that she has been with men before, so she had relationships with men, and then she can take that on board and just to see how people are, and then who does she likes and who does she feels comfortable with. You know, when you are in a relationship, in between people, there's a different love language. There's a different love language between people. And I think for her, it's probably is just having some quality time. Maybe the other person understands her, and then she can talk to her and she feels comfortable, because she mentions that she can finally breathe, you know, like she can actually full breathe and be next to this person comfortably. And then, I mean, you see by the videos, they just look so happy. There's loads of touch, there's loads of care, smiling, you know, they seem so happy about it. And I don't think an age gap could be an issue. I mean, do you think an age gap could be an issue between your relationship? Would you date someone older or someone younger than you? I mean, is that like a deal breaker for you? Even though if that person is perfect for you, if you feel super comfortable around that person? I mean, that's what love is about. It's about loving that person how she or him might be, and not just for the way that he might look or people look at him and judge, you know. I think love should be judgment free. No one should be saying, oh, that person is not right for you, that person is right for you because he's the same age as you. I mean, these couple, they look so lovely and they seem to be perfect for each other, even though they just got married in 3 months. I mean, they still have an adventure in front of them, but I'm quite sure everything is going to go right. They seem quite happy about it, and I'm just really excited to see what our plans they have for the future. Do you think maybe they're going to have a baby, they're going to have a house together, they might build a house together? I mean, you never know. I think the important thing when you love each other is not the age gap, but if you care about towards that person, and if it's the same thing, if that person loves you too and treats you well, and if you're thinking about the future together, having plans together.
Thanks for watching StoryTrender. Don't forget to like and follow.